Hi there, my name's Sam Neal, and I'm here with Raychul Moore. Rachel, can you introduce yourself by title? I'm not entirely sure how to refer to you.
Sure. I'm video game journalist, basically.
All right. How'd you get started in that? What was your first journalism
Oh,
experience?
my first, I guess, job was with GamePro. I was in EGM just as like a member of the month kind of thing, and then GamePro saw that and asked me to write a few things for them, and then they just kind of took me under their wing and showed me the ways of game journalism.
So you first started as a journalist. When did you start getting into cosplay and modeling and all of those other things? How did all that come about?
Cosplay started several years ago, maybe 6 years ago, and back then cosplay wasn't really popular. And my friend was like, "Oh, let's go to Comic-Con and cosplay," and I was like, "Cosplay, really? Like, that's not cool." And I tried it and loved it, and I've been doing it ever since. It's just so much fun to be able to dress up like as your favorite video game characters.
What was your first costume?
Supergirl, and it was terrible. It was an awful costume.
How so? What was it made of?
It
Or
was
did
just
you
because it
not
was
make
my
it yourself?
first. I kind of threw stuff together, so it wasn't really that well done, and yeah, I don't think I pulled it off very well. But yeah, I guess you learn.
Yep. And you've been doing that for quite a few years now. Do people ask you to do that, or do you just decide what you want to do yourself and then show up to events? Because I see you have various photo shoots and things
Uh-huh.
with different people. What's the process like for that?
For me personally, I only will cosplay as characters I like from games, comics, or movies that I like as well. I pick my own. I don't want to be paid to do a costume or represent a game or a character that I don't know or don't like.
Gotcha. What was your most inspired costume? What was your favorite one?
My personal favorite is Kratos. I love that costume, but I think the fan favorite is Cammy. Everybody likes the Cammy one.
Surprise, surprise there.
I know.
So, what is it like trying to make a female version of a male video game character?
I really like it because everybody can kind of take a picture of something and just emulate it, but making a female character of a guy character, I find it difficult because I get more creative freedom, which is awesome, but then I have to really look at that character and find the things about him that make him who he is and then translate that into a female costume. So like I'm working on a female Nathan Drake right now, and that one's really hard because how do you make a female Nathan Drake not look like Laura Croft? And that's the challenge, but that's also the fun of it.
So, have you figured out what the trademark things of Nathan Drake are?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm a huge Uncharted fan, so having to explore Nathan Drake further is definitely not a bad task.
Right. Nice. So I know you're really into action figures and things, so
Yes.
quick question. Your house is on fire. You can grab three. What three video game memorabilia items do you grab from your burning apartment at this point?
Definitely my Perma from Uncharted 2. That's like my all-time favorite. What else? Oh, my R2-D2. He's not life-size, but he is like half life-size. I'd grab him. And what else would I grab? Probably my life-size Yoda.
Okay, you have quite a little handful there.
Yeah. And my Xbox hard drive. That's important.
Yeah, well, sure. And pictures and things. I mean, there are other things you'd save before video game action characters, but
My laptop. It's got my life on it.
yeah. So you're a horror movie fan. What is your favorite horror movie series?
Probably Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Love Jason.
All right, so kind of follow-up question to that. If you were ever offered to take the role in a horror film or an indie horror film as a like ditzy cheerleader kind of person, even if it's the furthest thing from the truth, would you take the role?
I totally would. Like, I want to be in a horror film, but it's kind of like I also want to be a Bond girl. Do I play the one that gets all the cool sex scenes but dies really quickly, or do I play the badass chick that makes it to the end? Kind of like Bond girl. Do I play the one that's just there for a little bit and then she changes and she, like, backstabs Bond, or do I play the sweet one that he falls in love with? I'd like to do both.
Gotcha. All right, assuming it's the first, which famous horror movie villain would you most like to be murdered by, and how would you like it to be? That's kind of a weird question, but
Either Jason or Michael. I like both. I think Michael is scarier because Michael He doesn't care. He'll kill anything that moves. Jason's got standards. He won't kill children. He won't kill animals. Michael will. So Michael's definitely scarier. But yeah, either Jason or Michael. And how would I like to be killed?
I don't know that I've ever asked anybody that in an interview before, but
No, I like it, though. That's awesome. Maybe classic Psycho. Killed in the shower.
all right. That's certainly fitting the first stereotype.
Yeah.
So the internet can be quite vocal and opinionated too. There's a darker side to it. How do you deal with some of the more aggressive and immature comments that you get from YouTube commenters and on Twitter? Assuming you have them, I kind of figure everybody does.
Especially on YouTube. Those guys are crazy. I fight back.
You have a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I don't
how
have
so?
a problem like going head to head with a troll. Like, bring it. Let's go. You want to dance? I'll dance.
How does that
I don't
usually
do
work
the
out?
whole don't feed the troll thing. No, I totally feed them.
Does that work, or does it just spawn
A lot
more
of times
hate?
it does. They're like, whoa, you weren't supposed to answer back, and then, I don't
They
know.
all
Then
shy and cower into their corner.
yeah, and then we're cool. We're like friends. Yeah, I'll fight back.
Interesting way to start
Teenagers
friendships.
they are.
So you did go to E3. Just a personal question, I guess. Are you feeling better now? You caught a little cold or something like that?
I did. I caught a little bit of the con flu, but it only lasted like a day. Slept it off. Feeling much better.
That's good. What all did you get to see at E3?
Oh gosh, so much. Last of Us was definitely my game of show, followed by, like, of course, God of War Ascension, Dishonored. Dishonored was awesome. Star Wars 1313, War Dogs. No, I keep calling it War Dogs. Watch Dogs was cool. There's a lot of cool stuff this year.
All right. Let's see here. So what's the process like for, this is going back a ways, I don't have these in any sort of order, but what's the process like for preparing a costume? How long does that take, and how much work goes into it?
It can take quite a while. I always like sketch it up. I'm a terrible artist, so anybody would look at my costume art and be like, what is this crap? But I try to sketch it up, get colors right, get like where everything's going to go, and then I hit the fabric store. Got to get fabrics, got to make sure those match. I need, like, depends on the costume, but like we'll need some molding clay, and it can take a long time. I'm still not finished, and I've been working on some of mine since before this year.
Wow. If you don't mind me asking, like, how much do costumes cost roughly?
Oh,
I'm sure it varies based on what it is, but
they can cost, like, sometimes easily $3,000.
oh my God.
They're very, very, very expensive.
Yeah. It's an expensive hobby.
It is, but it's fun.
Yep. Let's see. Okay, so you recently entered the Maxim Gamer Girl contest. I saw that. You were doing pretty well for a while. Do you have any idea, like, I don't want to say what happens, that sounds kind of terrible, but how was that experience?
Terrible.
Aw.
It was like they contacted me, and they were like, hey, you're what we're looking for. We really want you, but you just need to be in this contest. I was like, cool, I'll do it. And I feel really bad because I begged everybody on Twitter and YouTube and Facebook to vote for me. You know, people register on the site to vote for me. I was in the top 3 throughout the whole competition, and it was supposed to be the top 3 girls move on to the next round. And then the competition ended, and then Maxim was just like, we're going to pick our top 3, and you're not in it. So voting meant nothing, and I just feel like a huge just jerk for bugging people to vote for me when it really just meant nothing.
I don't think you're the jerk there. That's really a trashy move on their part.
I know. I wish I'd known. If I'd known the votes didn't mean anything, I would have never, ever asked people to, like, take time out of their day to vote for me.
Right. So were the other people that made it, were they also in the top 3, or did they just...
One girl was number 1. She has, like, almost, I think she has thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on YouTube, so she made it through, of course. But the other girls, I don't even think they were, like, in the top 100.
Man. I'm sorry, I didn't realize the whole process went down like that. That's
yes.
surprising.
It's a huge debacle.
Transitioning again. Lollipop Chainsaw came out this week. Do you plan on picking that up?
Honestly, not really. I had played it a few times at press events, and I found the combat to be repetitive and kind of clunky. And I'm not really into campy humor, so...
Despite your interest in horror films?
Yeah, exactly. So reading a lot of the reviews kind of, it seems like a lot of people think the same. It's kind of a kind of game. I've got other games that are more than that I need to play right now. So that'll probably be a GameFly months from now. But yeah, everything I've seen and played, it's just, I think Shadows of the Dam did it better. It's the same concept, right? You've got the main character, lots of dick and sex jokes, and then you've got a silly little side kick. And we had that with Shadows of the Dam, and Juliet's doing the same thing, and she's got her boyfriend as a sidekick instead of this talking skull. And yeah, everything I saw of it, I think Shadows of the Dam did it better.
Yeah. What is your general opinion on Suda and his games and the kind of things that he creates?
To me, it's hit and miss. I'm not a, like, blind follower. It's hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes he does a really good job, like Shadows of the Damned I thought was really good, and then sometimes it's just a miss.
Yeah, I always admire his ambition at the very least. Like,
oh, yeah, absolutely. Always got to admire ambition. Sometimes it's a little unfocused.
So did you enjoy Shadows of the Damned?
I did. I did. It kind of, it was like a weird arc. I really, really loved it, was liking it, and then I just kind of, my interest went away.
Happens to me with a lot of games, too. So, what is it you do with your free time that isn't video games? When you're not doing something at least tangentially related to video games, what are you doing, if anything?
Nothing.
Nothing at all?
Either video games or making cosplay.
You got like the Mario cereal and stuff?
Yeah, that's basically all I do. I don't have a social life. I'm not a club or bar party kind of girl. I'm a hangout and play video games kind of girl.
Not a bad way to do it. So what game are you playing right now in your free time, just for fun?
Max Payne 3.
Max Payne 3. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else in the rotation?
Silent Hill, Downpour. Kind of a disappointment. Huge Silent Hill fan. Well, I used to be until The Room, and then I don't think anything has come out since The Room that was good. But I'm still trying. I'm trying to force myself to like it. Oh, and Diablo 3. I'm also trying to kind of force myself to like it.
I'm in the same boat. I thought I was alone there. I played it for the first week, and then I just kind of...
It gets really repetitive really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There was just nothing about it. I want to like it more because everybody's in this like Diablo 3 bubble of awesome, and I want to be part of that group so bad. So I keep like forcing myself to play it, and then I'm just not in that group, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of it's finding the right group of people to play with. My friends ran off and left me on day one, so I haven't had much of a motivation to go back.
Yeah, the game really doesn't support you to play with other people. It's like you can, but there's no reason to because everybody's just going to run off on their own, and it's just like playing a single-player game while talking to your friends on the phone at the same time.
Yeah, so the Real Money Auction House opened up this weekend. Could you... things are going there for like $200. I don't really understand that. How do you feel about in-game transactions like that?
I'm all about it. If someone wants to spend that much money, I won't.
Yeah.
I don't do any in-game transactions. Like even on iPad games, I'm not paying 99 cents for in-game money. That's crazy. So that's not my kind of thing. But hey, if someone's got money to spend on it, more power.
All right. This one's stretching back a little bit, but the I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, but the Lollipop Chainsaw Girl at PAX got kicked out for wearing a costume that was family-friendly. How do you feel about that, and how do you feel about costume restrictions during conventions?
She's actually a personal friend of mine, and I love her costume. But there is a time and place for everything, and PAX does have a very strict no booth babe policy. So I do think maybe the guys over at Lollipop Chainsaw, or I think it's the WB Warner Brothers booth or whatever, they should have known better. At Comic-Con, at E3, that stuff's fine, but PAX does ask that you respect their no booth babe policy. So, there is a time and place for everything, and I think that was definitely not the time or the place.
All right, awesome. I'm just about out of questions, unless you have anything else that you'd like to discuss. Are you in any upcoming projects or things that you'd like to plug?
I am coming up on this really big project that I can't talk about yet, but it's going to be awesome, I hope. And I'll have more information about that on my Twitter. It'll be more hints. It's going to be like, I'm going to go away for a while, and then hopefully if it goes well, I'll be gone for a while. If it doesn't go well, I'll be back really soon. And
it's a nice tease.
Cool. Yeah. Most people can figure it out. I just can't say what it is.
All right. And your news show, right? Fridays?
Oh, yeah. Week in Geek is every Friday at noon Pacific time, and that's on Twitch TV/Week in Geek. And this Friday, we'll be talking about the best and worst of E3.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem.